I'm Barry Sandoval with some of my favorite comics from our New York auction. Nearest me is Captain America. That leads us right into our first highlight piece here. Of course, Cap was a creation of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, and we're offering original art directly from the estate of Joe Simon. This is Boys Ranch #1, page 3. We've got lots of art by Simon and also Simon and Kirby collaborations and other stuff from Joe's studio. Now, what says 1950s science fiction like a girl and a BEM? BEM stands for Bug-Eyed Monster, of course. This is Al Feldstein, Weird Science Fantasy Annual #1, published by EC. Now step into the boom tube with me and head for the fourth world and something that rocked people's worlds, namely Jack Kirby leaving Marvel for DC in the early 70s. This was the first Kirby comic to appear, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, #133, and also the comic that began the Fourth World Saga. An event that was just as monumental, or perhaps even more so, was Amazing Spider-Man #121. Who would be the one to die in this issue? It turned out the answer was Gwen Stacy, and the story was the night Gwen Stacy died. In the minds of many, the Silver Age ended that day. Now, 4 issues later, Spidey was still agonizing over Gwen, as you can see on the word balloon here. But more importantly, at the moment, he also had to deal with the Man-Wolf, who was making just his second appearance. And of course, the artist of both of those is John Romita Sr. Now, moving on to the 1980s, everyone knows Watchmen, and we're thrilled to offer the original art to the first 3 covers of the series by Dave Gibbons. Here's #1, the comedian's smiley face. How can anyone forget that? Second issue is the cemetery where the comedian was buried. And on #3, radioactivity, of course, means Dr. Manhattan. Now, another classic 1980s series is, of course, The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. It's a 4-issue series, and here's the last page of the last issue, striking art by Miller here. What's another classic comic from that era? Well, you'd have to say Batman the Killing Joke, and this is Brian Boland art, and featuring an awesome panel of Batman at the bottom. We've got a big selection of comic strip art as well. This is Hank Porter, Snow White from 1938. Now, they only did 20 of these, splitting up the story of the movie into 20 parts. Only 2 originals are known to exist, and this is one of them. Speaking of something that's hard to come by, how about Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes? This is the first daily strip that's come onto the collector's market in many years, and it's from 1986. As always, we've got a big selection of Golden and Silver Age comics. Our cover lot is Detective 27, graded 6.5, and if you're scoring at home, of course, that's the first appearance of Batman. Just a few issues later, here's Detective 35, which is a particularly tough issue to find in unrestored condition, and it's got the classic hypodermic needle cover. Here's Batman #1, which is one of 3 copies we have in this auction. And now let's bring it full circle to my favorite character, Captain America. This is issue #2, which was the first time he used the round shield. And we'll finish off here with Avengers #4, which was Cap's first appearance of the Silver Age. Now, I only had time to show you about 1% of the lots in the auction, but you can find another 1,100 lots, and please check them out at ha.com.